holy smokes, what a pleasant surprise! A new Diablo 2 patch is actually dropping tomorrow. And despite its small size, there are some crucial changes coming that'll make the game significantly better. And so in today's video, I'm going to cover the top 5 changes that are coming with patch 2.4.3, as well as what this entails for the future of Diablo 2 Resurrected. And with that, first up, and technically this is something that should have made it to the launch of the game according to Blizzard and Vicarious Visions, but the game lobby is actually getting a significant improvement. First of all, in the PC version, you'll now actually be able to search for keywords that are in the names of games, which means you'll be able to find specific types of games that you would like to join, instead of having to manually keep refreshing the game list to actually fish for the types of games you might want to join, or just end up having to play solo in your own game. And next, at number 2, and this is sort of a under the radar change, or rather a set of changes, but they've actually significantly improved the backend in terms of the types of games that you have a better connection to, as well as the number of games that you can actually connect to. So more specifically, on your game list, whereas in the previous version you would see 20 games, now it's been expanded to 40 games. And not only that, but the number of games that you have a good connection to or a better connection to has also been increased and added to that same game list. So having this on top of the new search feature for public games will greatly increase the viability of and your ability to play with other people, and also allow you to much more easily find specific types of games that you would like to play. And even on top of all this, at number 3, for all of you console players out there, on top of all of these aforementioned changes, the interface update actually makes it a lot more convenient, and it's just a great quality of life option for console gamers, wherein it'll be a lot easier for you to pick between a private game, a public game that you can create with a randomly generated name, so you don't have to go through the painstaking process of typing up a name with your controller, right? Or you can also do that as well. So there are kind of 3 options for game creation, on top of being able to browse and search for specific types of games to join, and even filter by things like not only difficulty, but also again keywords and even ping. And next, at number 4, is yet another really great and neat quality of life improvement, specifically for the Horadric Cube. Namely, there are actually a couple of very convenient changes, the first being that you can now bind a hotkey to directly open your Horadric Cube, making things like crafting and even looting a lot more convenient and quick. And secondly, according to the patch notes, there's actually another console-specific key that you can bind to actually enable you to directly pick up an item to drop it into your Horadric Cube. And this, by the way, can be really helpful for especially players who have their inventory maxed out with charms and just use the Horadric Cube to loot stuff, right? And opening it up as well with your other hotkey can make it a lot more convenient to identify your items and so on and so forth, right? And I really hope that this picking up option will also come to PC as well. And with that, the 5th change I want to cover for this patch is that Whirlwind barbarians have been significantly buffed, whereas not only slower weapons will be able to attack quicker with the skill, but you can now also be able to cast other skills more immediately after casting Whirlwind. And by the way, this is a very significant PvP buff, especially because barbarians tend to favor Whirlwind as a skill specifically for PvP. However, for assassins who are sporting the Chaos Rune Word, which actually adds the ability to use Whirlwind as an assassin, currently it seems like this is actually a nerf because of how attack speed tends to work with claws, but I hope that it'll definitely be changed and actually favor assassins somewhat, or at least not nerf, assassins who want to have fun in this way. And finally, and last but not least, before I end up the video, and this is not really technically a patch note or change per se, but since Blizzard are actually doing a Magic Find boost weekend right after the patch launches, I find this really interesting and something that bodes really well for the game moving forward. And I believe this because it demonstrates that Blizzard are actually willing to do things like limited time bonuses and special events, right? Which could, if this event goes well, for example, if it increases engagement, in order to incentivize and encourage similar things in the future, they could potentially do more daring, I suppose, events in the future, right? Such as, I would love it if they did some kind of increased rune drop rate event, not just magic find, or even have like special spawn events and so on and so forth, right? And who knows, in the future we might even see themed events that'll come with some of the future seasons for the game. I think this, combined with the fact that Blizzard was actually willing to rebalance skills in the previous major patch and buff up underused builds and even mercenaries, in my opinion shows that Blizzard is actually willing to take risks and not necessarily change some of the fundamentals of the game, but make enough changes to make the game fresh and interesting for old and new players alike. So let me know if you agree with that and what the future holds for Diablo 2 Resurrected. And with that, that is pretty much all I want to cover in today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Happy hunting. Peace.